Namaste, namaskaram, vanakkam, namo namaha. Jai Ganesha. Please visit our website at classicalyoga.org and stand up for the Dharma. Power and money. Two hot topics in any age. A little reflection shows that we all need a sense of power, empowerment, self-assuredness, confidence. We all need finances, physiological needs, money. However, when these two are taken out of balance, when we have too little power, this can result in depression, lack of confidence, or when we have too much power, then we can become the egomaniacal narcissist. Same with money, physiological needs. If we have too little, no good. Too much often can turn into greed. So how do we handle safely these natural needs for empowerment and power and finances, money? By keeping them safely within a foundation of safety, a safety net. Our family, our friends, our community, our religion perhaps. And when we have an overriding goal, and especially if that goal is a lofty goal of self-realization, spiritual realization. Now, in classic sociology, Maslow's hierarchy of human needs recognize these four things. We all need a sense of safety. Family, friends, community, religion perhaps. We all need physiological needs, food, clothing, and shelter. We all need a sense of self-esteem, self-empowerment, self-confidence. And we all need overriding goals in our life, self-actualization. Actually, in the Hindu yoga dharma, we speak of the Purusharthas. Of course, as Hindus, we should see everything first from the perspective of the soul, Tattvamasi. Thou art that. We are the Atmana, of love, light, and energy with a body, mind, and emotion. Purusharthas, the wealth, artha, of the soul, Purusha. And we find these exact four things mentioned in the Purusharthas. Safety is dharma. Money, physiological needs, is artha. Self-esteem, self-confidence is kama. And self-actualization is moksha, liberation, freedom. And most all Hindus are familiar with these four classic Purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Often colloquially, you will hear dharma, art, kam, mok. Dharma, art, kam, mok. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Our safety net, our dharma. Physiological needs, artha. Self-esteem, kama. Self-actualization, moksha. Liberation, freedom. And what is this liberation that we as Hindus seek? It's the realization of who we essentially are, the Atmana, Tattvam Asi. As a young brahmachari, traveling through Trinidad back in the early 80s, late 70s perhaps, staying with Swami Satchidananda from the Divine Life Society, he introduced me to one of his devotees, Mr. Ramyad Ram Prasad. And he was a Hindu who was fully grounded in the Dharma, successful businessman, worked in the oil industry. He also had the Jaguar dealership in Trinidad. And I remember riding around with him in these old Jaguars. I'd sit in the back seat as a young brahmachari. He and his friend, old Sadhu, would take us from temple to temple. And I can remember sitting back there listening to them talking about dharma, art, kam, mok, discussing dharma. what that meant, discussing artha, wealth, what that meant, discussing kama, self-esteem, what that meant, and talking about moksha, freedom, kaivalya, liberation. So these are basic life principles that we find in basic sociology. These are human needs. And of course, we find them within the Hindu yoga dharma. And it's imperative that as we go through life, we learn to have this balance. Remember that for us as Hindus, dharma is our safety net, our grounding. Dharma comes from the Sanskrit Hindu word root dri, meaning to hold, an understanding of what holds life together, what holds us together. Also family and friends and community and religion, tradition, principles, duty. This is dharma. And then taking care of our physiological needs, food, clothing, and shelter. Attaining wealth, not too little, not too much. Learning the great wisdom of giving and receiving, the out-breath and the in-breath. The wisdom's always been there, right at the tip of the nose. And the Ashvin twins, the twin physicians spoken of in the Vedas, which are the two nostrils and also the out-breath and the in-breath. In life we learn to give and to receive, a good balance. If we're always giving and never receiving, we're out of balance. If we're always receiving and never giving, we're out of balance. Ever wonder why all the religions of the world are open to all to come, free of charge, donation basis? This leaves the onus completely on the devotee because they are receiving the giving of the religious teachings, of the religious sanctuary itself, perhaps even a free meal. And it's up to their own conscience to return in kind, a donation according to their means. But nobody is making them do this. This is when it becomes completely our own inner character development. So we learn about artha. We learn about kama, self-esteem, what it means to have self-confidence without having too little of it or too much of it, where we become the narcissist. And then we have an overriding goal of our human existence, moksha. Atmadarshana paramo dharma. So be a beacon, don't be a con to yourself and to those around you as you live this wisdom of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And when you perhaps are out of control, or when you see others out of control with power and money, be an example. Teach them if necessary this profound Hindu wisdom of the Purusharthas, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Jai Ganesh. Jai Hindu Yoga Dharma. P.S. Prajna Samadhi. Those of you into today's phony non-Hindu yoga stuff, think about what you're doing. Your infatuation with power, personality, price tag money is going to ultimately bring anything but freedom to yourself and others.